Sini.
Okay. I am a teacher for 36 years. I'm now running my own learning center for children with special needs, and my center is in Puchong. I got into special needs children teaching because of the calling from the children at my tuition center. I started off teaching with the government, and after 10 years I resigned. Then I started my own tuition center, and that time was thinking tuition center makes more money. Then when I run my center and I have children coming in, I realized the children have all perfect body and brain. They have 2 hands, they have 2 legs, they have head, they have mouth, and they can talk very well. The only thing they cannot do is they cannot express themselves, especially during exam. And I am a very good English teacher. I grade myself A+. So when I gave tuition, and the children can understand perfectly well in my class, but when they go back to school during exam, they cannot perform. And that led me to think, what's happening in the child's brain? So that's how I got myself into Brain Gym. Brain Gym is a program from US. It started very much earlier in the 1980s. The founder, Dr. Paul Dennison, he's still alive and residing in US. Brain Gym Malaysia started more than, I think, 18 years ago. But the association, we have Persatuan Brain Gym Malaysia, started only 4 years ago. And I am currently the Persatuan Brain Gym Malaysia president. So I'm very grateful to be given a chance to share what is Brain Gym. My name is Daphne, so you can easily remember me. I am Daphne, so my name is Daphne. Okay? So at least I got one response. It means she got the joke, right? So I'm Daphne. Thank you. I got the Educator Award for the Women Icons in 2019. So this award was given for the work that I have been doing with the Malaysia Alzheimer Association. I'm also a volunteer at the association because Brain Gym can be used for anyone as long as the person has a brain. So what if the person is in coma? As long as the brain is still functioning, we can do Brain Gym on the person. So last year in 2022, I got the Malaysia Influential Educators Award. This award is given to me to recognize the work that I do with special needs children. So in my field, I deal a lot with children who has autism. So autistic children, ADD children, ADHD, non-verbal children, and also children who have any kind of learning challenges. So, welcome to Brain Gym Malaysia. So to explain what is Brain Gym, it is a series of simple movements to balance and integrate our brain to bring out the full potential and maximizing our true talents. So it doesn't matter whether you have issue or not. As long as you have a brain, you should do Brain Gym. And Brain Gym can be done any time of the day without any tools or medication. It's just a series of simple movements. Usually you will know about the left brain and the right brain. Alright? So the tool that I have in front here will depict our brain. So if the child is 0 to 2 years old, the brain is each on one side. So you can see the right brain and the left brain. These are for children 0 to 2 years old. After 2 years old, the brain should be integrated like this. So whether you are left brain dominant or right brain dominant, you should be using both your brain at the same time. So the question now is your brain balanced? Okay, usually I will do a demo, but I didn't know the situation today was less than 100 people. If I have known, I would have taken some tools to show you how to understand whether you are balanced or not. Okay, so if you are balanced, how would your brain look like? So if you are not balanced, how would your brain look like? Later on, I will show you the case study that I have done with children and also adults. Okay, now this is a very good image to depict our left brain and right brain. So we have medical doctors who can give you clearer explanation. But for me, if you have the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain, but there is something in the middle of the right and left that keep the two brains together. And in scientific term, it's called corpus callosum. Okay? But in my term, when I explain to parents, the right side of the brain is one toast. Your roti panggang, that one. Okay? Your toast. The left side of your brain is another piece of toast. To have the toast to be delicious, you want to have thicker butter. Right? Kaya, also sapu gao gao. So for your butter to be gao gao, how to get that? And why do we need the corpus callosum? The right brain and the left brain need to communicate. So for the brain to communicate well, your corpus callosum has to be as thick as possible. And it's very easy to get the butter thick. That is, please do not sit down more than 20 minutes. So every 10-20 minutes, you should get up and move. Because every time you move, your corpus callosum will get thicker. So you see, some old folks, they like to sit down the whole day and watch television. And slowly they will get dementia. Right? That is because they don't move. If you don't move, your corpus callosum get thinner, then the left and the right brain cannot communicate well. So that's why brain gym is so effective. As long as you move, then your right and the left brain will communicate. Simple? This one can understand? So in brain gym, to move, we move in a specific way. It's like how you walk. So today, very good examples because there are many people here. So you see how people walk. Some people walk. See? Okay, now because I'm holding the mic, but if I'm not holding the mic, you will see that when I walk, my opposite side goes. Okay? That's the usual way people walk. But there are also people walk. They don't move the upper part of the body. Okay? And some people walk in such a way. So the way they walk also depicts the status of their brain. So the way you sit also show me the condition of your brain. Some people like to sit down and cross the legs. Some like to open up. Okay? Some not only cross the leg, but also cross the hands. Right? And there is even one more type. When they sit down, they like to shake the legs. Okay. And children, if you have noticed, They sit down. I show you how the children will sit down and their legs will go like this. The legs wrap around the chair's leg. And some children, they cannot sit with the feet down, they need to sit like that. Of course, some children also sit like that. Another way, I want to show what is on the floor. The child will sit with the W. Okay? W. We call that W because they put their feet out like that. So all these sitting and standing position give us information of the person's brain. That's how I read the person. So we have to work very hard to keep our brain fit and strong. This shows a child in distress. This one relates to learning. But if today you are not children, we are adults, we have even more stress. So by looking at the sign there just now, is the same sign as this. We call this the infinity sign. Okay, so you just have to know infinity signs reflect our left and right brain. So the next picture, I will show you some photos of the classes that I have conducted, and this lady is one of my oldest participants. And you can see she's using the board as a tool to help her to balance and integrate her brain every day. You can also see that she's standing on a board. I didn't bring the board today, but the board is called a balance board. So a balance board practically helps you to rock to the left and right. So without the board, you can also do that. So it is very easy to do. You just need to rock to the left and right. When you rock to one side, when you swing, you lift up the other leg so that it's the chance of not balance, and then you do your best to balance yourself. So when you do this every day, as slow as you can, you give your brain a chance to be off balance and then balance back itself. Okay, so the program is suitable for anyone. Over here you can see we do teenagers camp. So the teenagers holding the board, of course when they are younger, they can attempt to hold the board and squat down, because squatting down and getting up from a squat is another good movement from brain gym. Have you heard before they say if you can squat down and get up without using your hands to help you, that shows you are in a better state of health. That is also relate better state of health for your brain. I also do parents training, because for me, if the parents know the movement, it is definitely easier and more practical, because you can do it with yourself and with your family members at home. So these are activities that we do in a pair work. It means the person in front relax her hands totally and let the person behind to do the movement. And this two hands movement, it means moving your hand simultaneously in the same, in the opposite direction, mirror image, will also stimulate your brain both sides at the same time. Okay, these are teachers training that I have done in Indonesia. Okay, for college student, this is a college in Malaysia. Okay, you can see the tools are very simple. First, the infinity board and also the balance board. That will be sufficient to do the exercise every day. Okay, These are teachers training that I have done in Africa. I also do teenagers training for teenagers in Africa, and also for the school children in Africa, and also the kindergarten children in Africa. This girl was 3 years old when she was sent to me. Her parents had some issues and they left her with her grandmother. So she was emotionally unstable, and before 3, she was able to talk. But when the parents left her, she stopped talking. Okay, so with this selective mutism, is she can talk, but because of trauma, she stopped talking. So I spent 3 years with her, and today she's a happy and healthy 13-year-old girl. These are the activities I have done with the Alzheimer Association of Malaysia. Okay, so whether the person can do or cannot do, like this gentleman, he has stroke, so one side of his body cannot function. So what we do is we have a helper or a caregiver that do the exercise together with him. So these are the activities. As you can see, I will still bring your attention back to the infinity 8. This is the infinity sign. So we have activities at the Alzheimer Association Center in Atria, where we encourage the patient and the caregivers to do the activities together. Okay, so this is a case study, brain gym for sports. You see the boy here, he was having his tennis lesson, and I have put a circle. Sorry, I don't have the indicator. You see the tennis ball there? So you can see his eyes and his racket. He aimed already, right? He aimed at the ball. So you see the next slide. What happened? He didn't hit the ball. So the ball dropped right in front of him, and you can see his eyes still looking up. Racket in position, but the ball has already dropped on the floor. So it means he is a few seconds slow in responding. Then we did brain gym. I call him to the side of the court, okay, and we do one simple movement because the coach didn't let him off so fast. So I call him to the side, then he just did this simple exercise, crossing the midline. When we cross the midline, remember just now I said the butter, the right and the left brain, so I get him to do targeted movement. Then the next slide, you can see his body in position, the racket also in position, and the next slide will show you. Do you think he can hit the ball this time? He did it. And the next shot, so happy. You see? So simple exercise, just a few minutes at the side of the court. He get into the eye-hand coordination, and not only that, he got the rhythm right. I have another video on dancing. You can also do, because it's more on the rhythm. How you want to get, aim, and hit at the same time. So this boy, he's my nephew. So that time, how old? And today he's already 21 years old. So you can do it for anything. It can be for your driving. It can even be for your public speaking. Or even if you want to meet someone to share something, you can do brain gym before the activity. Okay. So the key thing is the infinity sign. So you can actually Google and get the infinity sign. As long as the background is white and the sign is in black, bold like this, that will help you with your left and right brain integration. So next, I want to show you, this is an exercise which I do with A4 paper and pencil. So as long as I have a piece of paper and a pencil, if the child draw for me, or if anyone draw the infinity sign for me 9 rounds, I can see the brain condition. So this is one example. Now, can you imagine if a child drew this? The actual image is this, but he drew this. So do you think the child is ready to learn? Do you think the child is ready to learn if his brain is so chaotic? It means the child cannot see this pattern in his brain. So definitely this child is not able to learn. And this child also has issue with his focus, and usually he is more hyper. Okay? And this child also have issue with his vision. It means if he walk, he easily trip and fall. Or if he wants to go to that spot to get something, he will knock into the furniture on the way there. So either he falls easily or he bruises himself because of his visual issues. Sorry? Actually, this are my case study for many years already. I cannot remember. But age doesn't matter. It's the brain health. If the brain is healthy, regardless whether you are 50 or 60 years old like me, you will still draw a better design. Okay? I show you the next one. This is the next one. Okay. If a person draw this way, okay, this person has many layers of buried emotion. It means the person is not happy and has a lot of things in his heart. So for a child to learn well, but the heart is not there, do you think he can focus? Cannot. So let's say this is a teenager, has many issues. Teenager, first issue, have issue with parents. I want to do A, my mother tell me to do B. I want to go out with my boyfriend A, my mother say cannot have boyfriend. So the person, when the heart is not settled with the brain, will draw this pattern. So this person, if he's a teenager, will also not function well in the everyday life because I'm not happy. Okay? What if the person draw this? This one jialat or not? Okay? This one is worse than the previous one. Okay? If a person draw like this, you see the jagged lines, all the uneven lines. This person is at the very anxious mode. I would say anxiety level very high, maybe even at the panic state. A little bit of things also. So if the child is always jittery like this, how can the child focus in class? Okay, so let's say if this is an adult driving on the road, but always jittery like this. If the car next horn the other car, but this person also get to chuang, you know. So if a person is always anxious, it is also not ready and balanced for their everyday life. Now, this one is a very interesting pattern. If you notice the middle part here, stick together. But if you look at the design, the pattern should be sharp and pointed. Okay? So if a child drew this, definitely cannot play games. Because the left and the right, the hand-eye coordination is out. So I wouldn't ask the person and force the person to train badminton or basketball, anything that use the hand-eye coordination, this person cannot do at the moment. Okay? Now, this was drawn by a child. At that time, he was 8 years old. Okay? We practiced the pattern on this board for many days. He was in a private school. So private school is, as long as the parent pay the fees, the child stay in school, right? Whether he can catch up with the studies or not, he stays in school, right? But the child can perform his daily activities. Artinya, boleh makan, boleh pergi toilet, boleh tidur. Everything also can. It's a Malay mother, Chinese father. So what is his issue? The pattern is like this, but he drew the 9 lines like a pea in the pot. So he definitely cannot learn in class. He has an issue with his ears. He was born without the external part of the right ear. So you don't see this. But the internal part of his ears is intact. He only do not have this part of the ear. So what the doctor did, they drill a hole, okay, and they put the hearing aid implanted inside here, but with a small antenna jutting out. You know boy, so he has short hair, but he has a short antenna here. So every time his friend come near him, you know why? Because he's scared his friend will touch the little antenna at the side. So this was how he drew. So if you look at the month, that was the first session that I did with him. And then after the 12th session, in July, he can draw the pattern already. So this was done once a week session. Once a week. So from May to July, 12 session, he's able to have his left and right brain quite balanced and integrated. He still have learning issues because he have left so many years of academic, but he's catching up. This is another case study of mine I want to show, but I'm not blaming father or mother. So this is how a father drew. Very nice pattern, right? Very similar to mine, right? But if you look at the proportion, the whole piece of A4 paper, the father drew a very small pattern in the middle of the paper. And you can see the lines are very neat and tidy. So this was how the father's brain condition. You want to see the mother's brain condition? Be prepared. This was how the mother was feeling inside her heart, and that was how she is having the tension inside her brain. So in a family, unfortunately, mothers are the one who bear all the stress, all the tension, especially if you have a special child. So you want to see how the child brain condition? The next slide is the child's brain. So you see, overall, the child has got the pattern, the left and the right brain. But his design, you can see, a bit longish to the side and a bit sharp on each corner. This shows that the child is very stressed on his ears. Probably the mother has been nagging from morning to night to ask him to study. So his ears are actually at the maximum tahan stage. I think the next thing he want to do is put the earphone and listen to his music. So this is how I do a family therapy. If the child has learning issue, we usually check out the father, then the mother, then we check the child. So if I need to do a session to rectify the issue, I will start with the mother. Okay? Because the mother is the sunshine of the family. But the father just now, remember he drew a very small 8. This father also has issue. He is calculative, stingy, and cannot see above himself. Because he told me, my son has no problem. It's my wife who is over anxious with his academic progress. But do you think that is the issue? Why is the mother so stressed? Because she's working. She's a working mom. And she has to take care of the child who is not performing in school, who the school will call her when the son did not pass up homework. So who do you think is stressed? Mother. So when we do this, we will start off the therapy with the mother, then we will do on the father, then only after the third session, we will do on the child. And then we have another scenario in our modern world now. The father said, I'm very busy, I cannot do the exercise, I send my maid to do. I say can, as long as the maid is related. Because you see, the maid is not related. The maid comes from another country. The maid has her set of stress. So how can the maid in the house help to do therapy at home? Because brain gym is a series of simple exercise, no injection, no medication. All they need to do is to do the exercise. So if the maid touches the child and do the exercise, the maid will pass her energy to the child. So that's why it's not advisable for other than father or mother to do the exercise. So this concludes what is brain gym. Brain gym is a series of movements to balance and integrate our brain to bring out the full potential and maximizing our control. So it doesn't mean that after doing brain gym, you will get a strength of brain. It just brings out the full potential. Okay, so if you see this symbol from the internet, is it useful or good to integrate your brain? It's very nice to look at, but I still prefer the white background and the black bow design. Okay, next. Okay, sorry about the slide. Now you can reprogram your brain with a click. So now we have technology to help our brain to balance even at the time we are not doing any movement. So we are using technology now in our center to help a child to balance and integrate their brain, balance their emotion, and also increase their vibration and frequency. So we use gadgets like this in the center to help the child to faster and in an easier and more effective way to manage their emotion. Okay, this is an example of a child who was throwing tantrums in the center. So we use the gadget because when he is throwing his tantrum and very, very angry, we can't ask him to do the exercise because he is already not happy. So all we can do is quickly get the gadget and ask him to hold it to his chest. Okay? And you can see from the picture here, he cooperated with me by holding on to the gadget. Okay. This is another case of a teenager in my center who complained of stomach ache. So you can see when you have headache, stomach ache, toothache, we cannot see with our eyes. But with the gadget, I can analyze and I can know on the spot whether he's truly having some pain in his body. So for this issue, the child was having indigestion because he has 2 personal pizza for breakfast at one go. So when he came in at 9:30, he was having indigestion already. So if he's not feeling well already, indigestion up to the chest, do you think he can do my brain gym exercise? He will not cooperate. So we will use the gadget on him and we release him very quickly also. Okay? I'm not sure if I have time for Q&A, so maybe I will take a question of 2. If yes, sir.
Is this thing applicable to an autistic child?
Yes, I have autistic children in my center. There are many explanations as to why a child has autism. But for us, brain gym is a method that we bring the left and right brain together to integrate. So it depends, the autism is started from womb or after birth. So there are different conditions and different spectrum of the issue. So as long as the person has a brain, we can use brain gym. Any other question? Yes. My center is in Puchong.
So when you mentioned about dementia, right? So how can you help the dementia patient? They go to your center, stay there, or send?
No. I volunteer my time at the Malaysia Alzheimer Association in PJ and also in Atria. So they have daycare there. So the caregiver there have been trained by me, so they can also do the brain gym movement on the person. We will not say that we can cure dementia, but we can give the person a better quality life. You see, dementia patients, usually they cannot remember certain things, so they will keep asking you for food. For example, keep saying, I haven't had my lunch. Can I have my lunch? I haven't had my lunch. Can you cook this for me? So this person cannot remember the sequence of the day. So by using brain gym, we balance the left and the right brain so that the left brain is the one that has the linear, it means the step by step. The right brain is for colors, for patterns, for creativity. So we need to strengthen the left brain so that the person knows the routine of the day.
So no medication.
We don't use medication, but we use the frequency, technology, the gadget to balance and bring out the better function of the brain.
How to bring this person? Why is it?
I will give you the contact. Yeah, the center is in Atria on the 3rd floor. Okay. For what session? For the child or for the adult? Okay. How long is the session for the child? Depends, because for brain gym to be effective is consistency. And since we are not taking medication or injection, it means you have to do it as often as you can. So if you can do a 10 to 15 minutes of the movement every day, that is considered very good already. But before the child start doing, we will encourage the father and the mother to do first.
Thank you for the talk.
Just curious, just now you say you ask people to draw the infinity sign. So what is the ideal?
Okay, this is the analyzing tool that we use in the most traditional way.
Now, what I mean is, what is the ideal pattern? Because you seem to be see, the father like this, the mother like this.
The ideal pattern is the balance left and right.
So even you draw for 9 times, you're asking.
Yes. So the 9 time ideally should come out like this. But if the person draw anything that is round, this is not ideal. Because this is the brain of a 2-year-old and younger. It means they have not coordinated all the parts of the brain and they are not connected to the front part of the brain where they can make decision. So the ideal pattern is this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also about you say the walking, you are assessing how a person walk. So how?
Yeah, because if the left and the right brain is not balanced and integrated, they usually shows in the walking. That is called the gait.
So mean the first thing also you will ask them to draw this to assess them.
Yes. Let's say if I don't have the paper and pencil now, I will ask the person to walk.
So for adult, you also see them if they
Yes.
see the walking,
Yes.
because I feel they are walking not normal. So I just wonder if we want
Yes.
to do further assessment.
Yes.
Okay.
So they either walk and that is the physical assessment, and if they use the paper and pencil, that is the written assessment. So we also use the gadget to do the technology assessment on the spot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have next slide? Yeah. So thanks for your question and time. Last but not least, I would like to say thanks to Ariya Vihara Buddhist Society of KL and Selangor for giving me this a chance to share with you about brain gym. And I truly love brain gym because it's a method that you can do and use anywhere, anytime. Thank you.